Mind the Gap.
Hi, it's Benson, the Fitness Concierge, and welcome to Mind the Gap. Today on Mind the Gap, I want to talk about your eating habits and your drinking habits. I want to talk about those breaks in routine, those gaps in routine, and how big they are. So what do I mean? If you've got a routine going where you are making good choices day to day, it's become no effort. Maybe it's still a little bit of a process for you to go through. It doesn't come naturally, but you're choosing good food, you're preparing lunches, or you're selecting good food. When you're out and about, you're drinking plenty of water, you're cutting down on the things that you've decided are not in your best interests. If all those things are starting to come together and you're feeling the benefits of it, and you're feeling healthier, but more importantly, you're feeling happier, that is amazing. I would suggest that you've crossed the hardest part now, because getting into that sort of routine is tough. And if you're just starting out, stick with it, because you will get there, but it requires consistency. Which ties into where I'm going with this about Mind the Gap. My concern for people, based on a lot of experience of working with people on behaviour change and lifestyle transformations, my concern is that as an industry, there's a lot of messages out there about cheat days, cheat weekends, cheat meals, cheat this, cheat that. I'm a big believer in the power of language, and I think for someone who's trying to change behaviour and it's got a deep meaning to them, an emotional effect on them, they've got to a point where it's not just about they need to be a certain weight for a boxing match. They actually want to change the way they feel, and they contribute getting out of shape and feeling heavier or not fitting into clothes, etc., as something that made them feel shit, and they don't want to feel shit anymore. Now that is a really hard thing to come out of. I've been there myself, and it's difficult to change mindset and keep that mindset changed. So throwing in language flippantly like cheat isn't good, because cheat is a word that will for many people trigger a feeling of doing something unjust against themselves. So I choose not to use the cheat word in that context. So, but what I'd also look at, irrelevant of what word you use, is it in your own best interest to take a whole day out of your routine, or a whole weekend? Because for some people, both physically, in terms of their body's ability to adapt to different chemicals ultimately that we're putting into our body, minerals, vitamins, etc., the science side of it is a different conversation. It needs to be a personalised conversation. But in general, if your body cannot adapt very quickly to the change in what you're putting into it, you might not be able to bounce back the next day and go straight back into your routine without really forcing yourself, which then turns it into something you resent. Okay? That can be a problem. It really can. So it's important that you set your expectations realistically. And I say that because if your expectations are that you can just go from living a good life in terms of healthy lifestyle and then having a whole weekend off and then on Monday just click back into it like nothing's changed, your expectations are very unrealistic. Unless you've lived a very good lifestyle for a very long time, even then it will be hard, but at least everything around you and your patterns and your environment and everything is conducive to you fitting back into your original healthy routine. But if it's a new thing for you and your whole environment, your work environment, your home environment, your mindset, if all these things are currently going through a change, don't put too many big gaps in there. Maybe take half a day to let loose and overindulge and relax the boundaries, or go out to eat, but within your burger and chips have some fruit for dessert, or have something healthy before you go out, or drink plenty of water alongside whatever else you're drinking. Just try and keep it sensible so it's not all one way or the other. Okay? So mind that gap. Mind the gap in terms of how far away from your good routine you are straying, and also mind the gap in how long you're stopping your routine to starting it again. Because the bigger those gaps are, the bigger the risk of you losing your way completely. So I hope that's useful. mind the gap. And yeah, drop me a message as always if you've got any questions. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel so you get notifications next time something comes out. And enjoy your day. Mind the gap. Stay healthy. Stay happy. Over and out.